Hi, Greta Reed here, coming at you live from Boise. If you don't know me yet, I am a 3D printing aficionada, which means I get to combine my love for art and math into the designs of things that I make. Today I am wearing a earring design that has a trapped ring. Hopefully you can see that here. These are made from a wax cast. It's cast in bronze, and the wax was printed in place with these interlocking parts. And I just find it very empowering to be able to wear something that I designed. So I'm actually not on here to talk about jewelry. I am talking about food today. And if you are catching the replay, do me a favor and let me know in the comments. Please type in replay and where are you coming in from. It's always a treat to see where people are watching from. The reason I'm here is to answer a question that I prompted yesterday, and that is, if there is something you would like to know about 3D printing, I will do my best to answer it. I am 6 days into a 31-day video challenge, and I would like to answer it within that time. This is only my 4th live, by the way. But the question I was asked yesterday was about 3D printing cake decorations, and specifically with fondant cutters. I found quite a few projects I'm going to go over, and if you're interested in 3D printing and food, you might want to grab a pen and take some of these down, especially if your name is Sandy. Okay, so the first one on my list is 3D Systems. This is a company that is been around for quite a while, and they have much more sizable budget for their technologies than the other people that I'll be discussing. And if you go to their website, I'm just going to suggest their website, 3D Systems, and find their page that talks about culinary collaborations. You will see all kinds of projects they did with names of people that you might recognize from food shows, if you watch that kind of thing. And the next one I want to discuss is a printer called Candy Fab. It was developed by the Evil Mad Scientist Labs. They basically took sugar and they heat it, and then they created some really cool sculptural looking things with their printer. There are people that are taking 3D scans of themselves and having those printed for their wedding cake toppers. And these could be in plastic. Actually, it could be in marzipan or some other paste type edible. And another one that you'll want to go to YouTube for is do a search on there for transforming birthday cake. Now this is by far the geekiest cake I've ever seen. They literally took the design for a transformer, and then it moves like a transformer. Hey Sandy. Yeah, you want to check out that transformer cake. It's just like I've never seen a cake that moves like that. It's kinetic cake. Next up is Dinara Casco, Dinarakasko. She's got her own website, and she 3D printed silicone molds for her cakes, and they look so architectural and sculptural. They're really neat, and then she decorates them, and you wouldn't even know that they're cakes until you cut them. Next up, and last one on my list, I'm I'm pointing out is Daniel Wilkins, and he has a website called messageinaCake.de. He's in Germany, and his cakes he baked in a loaf pan. So they look like they could be angel food cake with a bit of chocolate smeared in there somehow. But what's really neat is during the printing process, you see this chocolate in a sea of what looks like white cake batter, and the image doesn't really make sense until he bakes it, and then he slices it, and you see the image in the slices going vertical. And given the design freedom with 3D printing, you can have different images along the way. Some of the items or the food materials that people are printing with include chocolate, fondant, and icing, and basically all kinds of food that could be transformed into a paste, basically, including butter or I had another one here, pasta and marzipan or fruit puree. There's a lot of freedom there, as long as you have something that could come out like a paste, as I said. Oh, and the last but not least was the stencils, which is probably the simplest route, and if you're a cake designer, you're probably familiar with stencils. And that's it. That's what I had for today. And again, if you or you have a question, I'm going to be doing this live for a few more weeks, and I could really use some help with what to talk about. All right, so I will see you later. Thanks again. And thank you, Sandy.